coaches, like, I've got days where I go home and I'll put away 2 packs of crackers, like, just because mindset, because if you want to get better at your sport, you need to do the strength and conditioning. Strength and conditioning is, oh, Chris, we're not going to the Olympics. Why are you making us do this?
Back on the podcast. I think this is week 5. I've lost track at this point. Back with Chris again. The last podcast in this facility.
Yep.
And then we'll be in the new one for next week. So pretty cool, pretty exciting. Last week's podcast was really popular. But obviously it did cut out the injury prevention stuff. So we're going to really go over that. Then we're going to go through this week and what's been going on. I've been quite out of the loop, so it'd be good for me to catch up as well. And then any topics that have been coming up on check-ins and across the facility, Chris will be discussing as well. How are you, firstly?
I'm not too bad. Not too bad.
One day out from the Ultra, how are you feeling?
Do you know what? It's a mixture of emotions. I will say I think the nerves have mostly settled. There's more excitement than anything.
Yeah.
We just kind of want to get it out of the way and get all the endurance running behind me for a little while. Shift the training focus to something else, but also raise money for a load of stuff and take up an incredible event as well.
Yeah, I mean, donations have been coming in thick and fast as well. I'm not sure what the sum's up to if you looked.
I want to say we're under the 200 mark, but we have just had a few come in, which is good. Yeah. I'm hoping that I'll vlog some of it, and if people see me suffering, might contribute to the cause a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we get a YouTube video of Chris dying on an Ultra.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep the audio in of you swearing as well. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's take off where we left off last week. We were going through injury prevention for athletes. I think your mic cut out, so we didn't get anything you've discussed. They just got me rambling on, so it wouldn't have made much sense. So let's go over that again last week. I think we were saying a lot of people are training like the sport-specific stuff, but then doing nothing in the gym.
Yeah.
What do you think the like what sort of risks are we associating with people when they're doing that?
Well, the issue with that, like, it's great. You're gonna see an increase in your skill and obviously your technical ability if you do train that stuff. And as a byproduct, you might get fitter, you might get some level of strength. However, without directly training strength and without directly trying to improve like your weaknesses and stuff like that, you won't see. You've got an increase in injury risk, because strength training will help strengthen up your tendons and your joints and things like that. And we know that most injuries will happen from things like that, like an ankle rolling or something like that. The difference between you being out for 6 months and you not could very well be whether you go to the gym or not.
Yeah, I mean, I always say the best ability is availability when it comes to sport. Like, you'd rather have a player in your team that's available 9 games out of 10 and a player's available 5. Yeah. Even if that player who's only available 5 is a better player than the player 9 out of 10, in my opinion. And I think that comes down to strength training and looking after yourself. Yeah, we went over about supplements last week. I think what we're seeing a lot of is strains and like twists, especially with the netball girls that we coached the other week. I was chatting to a couple of them on Instagram and they were like, oh, yeah, I'm not doing lots of strength training. When it comes to, like, what would you say to kind of a club player about getting into it, and how much should they actually be doing?
Well, it all depends on how much they're training for their sport. But actually, I know a few of the club players might enjoy the sport more than they enjoy being in the gym. So they're like, oh, why would I do that? Why would I do that? But you have to shift that mindset, because if you want to get better at your sport, you need to do the strength and conditioning. Strength and conditioning is literally you in the gym making sure that your body can do what you want it to do. And can be boring sometimes, but it will be the difference between, you performing on the pitch and you underperforming or potentially getting injured.
And even for the guys that maybe are like, I'm just playing recreationally, they're not fussed about getting better. They just want to maintain. Maybe they're in their 40s, 50s. I think you see so many injuries, you're not going to be able to play that sport you love if you're injured.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And no one's saying you need to go into the gym and lift silly weights or anything like that. You just need to be able to be strong under a load, because then your body will be, you're putting a lot of load through your body when you're doing sprints, you're doing change of directions, and I guess strength and conditioning is trying to mimic that load through your body, would you say?
Yeah, it's preparing your body for that sort of impact. Like, think when you're sprinting or you're running, there are points you're never really on 2 feet. Points where your whole body weight goes through your tiptoe. If you're not doing, I don't know, heavy back squats or Bulgarian split squats or, I don't know, unilateral movements, your body's not going to be prepared for that. Especially if you're doing it at high speeds, at high velocity. You're asking to get injured if you're going to do that.
What sort of movements should a sports person, let's say netballer, footballer, hockey player, all very, very similar, lots of change of directions, what sort of movements in the gym would you, if you could only pick 5, what would you pick? Sorry, could have been 3.
That is a tough question. That's a very tough question.
I have a few ideas, but I'll let you go first.
Okay, so key ones, I would say, you definitely want some kind of heavy squatting motion, and you definitely want some kind of heavy hinging motion as well. They're both movements that appear a lot. You're then going to want something for ankle dorsiflexion. You want stiff ankles when you're sprinting, when you're running, changing directions, because if not, then your ankle's going to flop. Some kind of plyometrics, jumps. I would probably go, if I really had to choose, probably a depth jump, because it's reactive, it's a change of direction,
yep,
and it's upwards. Tough on this.
So we've got the heavy squat, so quite a concentric movement. We've got the plyo, quite explosive plyometric. We've got a hinging movement. We've got, I guess, something. I personally think it's neglected, like something like a pressing movement.
Yeah.
Obviously you're not pressing in like hockey or football, but like having that trunk stability.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's rotational trunk is something that where the trunk is stabilized would be beneficial.
Anti-rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely, because that's going to help with your balance, and like as you say, pressing movements will help with your shoulders. These are contact sports. If you get shoulder barged, it could be the difference. As you say, rotational movements, I would probably go, if we had to pick one, probably the cable sort of wood chops. I know they've got a couple different names.
Yeah, because you're getting the load through both parts of the movements.
Yeah, or actually, no, I'm going to change my answer. The reactive med ball throws.
Okay, yeah.
Because then they're reactive as well. It's a ballistic movement on top of that, rotation. Yeah, happy days.
You like them. I quite like landmines, but yeah, they both do similar sort of things. Yours is more reactive and probably better for a sport. I agree. So
depends which sport.
Very true. Okay, so like hopefully that's kind of covered what last week's topic we didn't get to cover. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments and we'll cover it in the next one. Where are we at this week with the facility? What's been going on?
Yeah, facility's going well. Programs are running smooth. We're on our last week of small group. There is a big shift coming next week. With the last 6 weeks have been a hypertrophy focus, which is just a fancy way of saying muscle building, hence the high reps, hence the drop sets, things like that. You can expect this next block to be a lot lower reps, a lot lower weight, a lot higher weight, sorry. Lots of cluster sets, lots of pyramids, things like that. And as the next 6 weeks go, we're slowly tapering into testing week, where everyone's going for PBs.
And what's the thinking between dropping from the higher reps to the more strength stuff?
So when you're training for strength, the magic number is between 3 and 5, 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 reps. You're not going to be able to lift your maximal sort of weight for an extended period of time. I think that completely makes sense, at least not with good form. You need longer rest periods, hence lower reps as well. But I really wanted to focus sort of on good lifting form as well. because we've had a couple injuries, not loads, but a couple that could have been avoided, I think. I think some of it is just load management. Just because you can lift something doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, to be fair.
I think we obviously bang on about progressive overload and, trying to get a little bit better. Your form improving is also progressive overload. It doesn't have to be numbers.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Really good point. I think that will definitely help a lot of people. Yeah, you mentioned about the emphasis on good form and stuff like that. I mean, I taught the morning lot for the first time in God knows. I can't remember last time I did a morning shift. I normally do evenings. And teaching hand cleans this morning, and I was like, the form is so much better. I think 12 weeks ago it was quite a new movement to them.
Absolutely, yeah. People used to hate it. Oh, Chris, we're not going to the Olympics. Why are you making us do this? But actually, a lot of them have got the hang of it. Funny, hang clean, hang. Can't help myself.
Cut it out. Cut it out. Yeah, you got to cope with that one, Chris. Someone actually said to me the other day, and I'm not going to name names, but they were like, "Your podcast is so funny," and I was like, "I'm so taken out." They thought it was hilarious. Apparently, we're a funny duo. But apparently, we're children for talking about going to Go Ape.
And
yeah, I can't remember who it was.
Go Ape is elite.
I can remember, but I'm not going to say it on camera because I might get sued or something.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, back to the hang cleans.
Oh yeah, the hang cleans
and the Olympic lifts. I think people are getting a lot more comfortable with it. Obviously, it is a very complex movement. Like, it's one that even when you know what to do, it takes months and months, repetitions to get it perfectly right. Once you get comfortable with it, then we can start, now that people have started to get the form right, we can start progressing it and seeing the benefits. I don't want to say I told you so, but...
It's starting to sound like me, mate. But yeah, no, definitely improvements in that, which is good to see. The standard of training from what I saw this morning was much better, which is I'm walking into a gym with people who may have only been training 8 months, but it looks like they've been training 8 years, which I think is really cool to see.
Yeah.
And that's credit to you guys as coaches. Talk to me about the rest of the week. Obviously, programming changes.
Yeah, programming changes. I mean, facilities running smoothly whilst all the HQ is getting built. Big buzz around the Pilates. People are really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that launch is next Friday. Yeah. First actual sessions in HQ, which would be cool. I'm not sure if they'll be buzzing after Beth breaks them, but it's up to them.
That's fine. One thing that I did see across check-ins is people seem to be having the same sort of issues week in, week out. And it's all to do mostly with consistency or with tracking or steps. It's always one of the three. There wasn't really anything else that kind of stood out to me. It was those same old sort of takeaways. Some people getting frustrated because they can't stay consistent for extended periods of time. I just wanted to say that, I know it can be quite tempting if you have 5 good days. The weekend one is a classic one we see. Oh, I did really well during the week, but then threw it all out at the weekend. Or I was doing really well, but then I ate something that I shouldn't have, and it's all in the bin. We as coaches, I've got days where I go home and I'll put away 2 packs of crackers, just because.
You and the crackers.
Yeah, me and my crackers. Or eat things that we shouldn't have. But if every single time we did that, or we just kind of threw everything in the bin, then we wouldn't get very far. I think the thing with that is not to spiral. You're not going to undo months and months and months of work with, I don't know, one bad meal or one bad day.
You're not going to do a week's damage.
Yeah.
One bad meal isn't going to ruin your week either.
Yeah, exactly. And then I wanted to touch on tracking as well. Some people don't have the time to track, or it's too tedious, or it's too this, it's too that. We're not doing it to like it's for your benefit, right? Nutrition is such a big part of muscle building, strength gain, fitness as a whole, just how you feel as well. If we don't see what's going in, then we can't really help if we don't know what's going on. If you guys can't track, that's fine, but keep some kind of log. I've got a bit of an older client who she used to write down what she was having. No, not portions, not weighing out, just sort of writing it down. Going off of her weight and stuff like that, we could kind of figure out, what was going on. I've had clients before where I'm like, just take photos, take pictures of your food. If you're not keeping some kind of record of what's going on, it doesn't have to be perfect, but some kind of effort, then it's so much easier to spiral and just kind of like let go of it. Like I was just having this conversation actually. Bad habits stack a lot quicker than good ones do. It's so much easier because it's that quick fix, that dopamine.
And bad habits tend to be old habits.
Exactly.
I like going back to what you said, like what's been in trouble this week, like consistency and then protein and steps. Yeah. I guess the protein and the steps aren't the problem. The consistency is the problem, which is then creating the protein and the steps being a problem. So I guess if we strip it back and just like look at the consistency and building a routine.
Yeah.
Personally, like I'm quite big on like habit-based coaching. Yeah, we've mentioned habits and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to try and change your lifestyle or overhaul your lifestyle, whatever word you guys want to use, I'm not really fast. If you try and keep your lifestyle exactly the same, you're going to get the same results. If every Friday you have a Chinese, no one has a problem with you like having that takeaway. But if you have it on that Friday night, you're going to feel exactly the same every Saturday morning, and you're going to start every weekend the exact same.
It's a loop.
And then you're on that continuous loop, and then you're going, oh, stuff it. I feel crap Saturday. I'll have the fry up. And then it's a spiral. Something has to change. If nothing changes, nothing changes. I mean, it's the most simple quote out there, but it is so factual. If you're trying to make a change to something, whatever it is, if you're trying to do better at your job, if you're trying to do better at your training, anything, something has to change. And if something doesn't change, you're going to just be looping. Subconscious, like not even without thinking about it. I know all of you aren't waking up going on Saturday, oh, Dan told me to do this, Chris told me to do this. Fuck them. You're going, I want to do this, but you're in that loop. Like something has to change. If every Friday you do the Chinese and every Saturday you wake up the same day, why don't you just have a good meal on Friday and move to Chinese to Saturday night? Oh, but we always do that. You want to change, make the change.
I think to touch on that, like change is going to be uncomfortable at first, and you kind of have to accept that and lean into it. It's not going to be that way forever, but it's always going to start that way. I think you have to get really comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, a little task I did. Who did I do it with? It was Luke, who's the sales guy.
Oh yeah.
He's very big on like the mindset stuff. He's actually become like an online coach now. Madness. Not a shout out to Luke. Don't speak to him; he'd make you cry. And he said to me, he was like, "What would the 5 year from now Dan version do?" And this was about like business decisions and like having tough combos. And it was like, what would he do? So like using that, I wanted to like, let's say you're currently 20 stone or whatever number you are, and you want to get to 14 stone. Stop thinking like the now version of you, and start trying to think like the version of you that would be where you want to be. Like, what would the 14 stone version of me be doing? Oh, they'd be meal prepping. Oh, they would be going for a walk every day. Oh, they'd be doing this. And start trying to become that person, not this person.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't be bothered. I'm tired tonight. I'm not going to go for that dog walk. Oh, yeah, but that 14 stone version of me that I really want to become, and I've told everyone that I'm doing this thing, what would they do? And I think that's a challenge for everyone. Like, I literally did it on a piece of paper, and the guy brutalized me on limiting beliefs. And it was like, now version of me, like my thoughts, my feelings, how I see things. And then the version of me that's different. And it's like, what does that person do versus that person do? And that's then like, oh, okay, so that person goes on daily walks. That person meal preps. That person has a Chinese once every 2 weeks rather than every week. That person works out first thing on a Saturday morning to get over the Friday blues. Okay, now how do I do that? Oh, I start doing Saturday morning sessions. I start changing my takeaway night to a Saturday. I start doing this. I start doing that. And that's how you change routines, not by just going, I'm just going to completely change my life today. You've got to do it by steps.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just to touch on that as well, I think there's also a perfectionism angle to this as well. If people don't have like everything bang on and everything right, throw it all out in the bin. Start doing things right 80% of the time. Like, I promise you'll get so much further than stopping and starting and just feeling guilty and shameful about it all. And also, like, you talk about, changing and becoming as a person. Like, think about when I first started here. Definitely not head coach material. Disorganized. Disorganized.
I still question it now.
We used to clash heads all the time. And it was like, one of them.
No. I used to say something and then Chris would be like, yeah, fair
enough. yeah, true. But the point is that if you're going to change, it's going to be a bit of a process. It's going to be a bit of a while.
And you're going to mess up. Like,
absolutely.
There's going to be mess ups, but you have to be kind enough on yourself to like allow yourself to mess up, but harsh enough on yourself to make sure it doesn't happen again. In a way, like, I don't know, like, for example, like, let's go back to like me and you here. Like, I think there was, I moan at Chris or something. It happens often. I just moan, and then Chris was like, yeah, that's fair enough. It won't happen again. And it didn't happen again. But if it had have happened again, then you have to ask yourself, well, why is the same thing happening over and over again? Like, sometimes you have to take yourself out of a situation, sit yourself down and go, why does this keep happening? Why do I keep doing this? Because there's a reason, right?
Yeah.
You have to, the simplest way to do it is like, if you got like a kid, like a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, you tell them not to touch the hot plate and they go and touch the hot plate. They won't touch the hot plate again because they've burnt their hand and they'll learn. If they go and touch the hot plate again, they're an idiot.
Yeah.
You've got to make the change. When you know something is wrong or whatever, you've got to be like, oh, actually, let's consciously make the effort not to do that again. Now, I'm not saying that you're never going to eat a bar of chocolate again, and nor am I saying you should do that. The 80-20% rule is the best rule I think there is out there. 80% of the time, be good. And you're like, oh, 80%, that's so much. Well, what is there? 21 meals in a week?
Yeah.
80% of that time is what? That allows you like...
Quick maths.
I don't have quick maths.
16, 17 meals to be good, roughly.
Yeah. You're telling me you can't have 4 bad meals in a week isn't...
sufficient.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, but if you need a bad meal every day, you need to work on that.
Yeah.
Personally, I think, 4 bad meals in there and, one of them's a takeaway and one of them's a bit of a cheeky lunch that you shouldn't have had, you're not going to mess your progress up. Especially like there's probably going to be days that you don't eat as much or like you don't fancy your lunch as much or you don't fancy your breakfast. So that's something to take out, the 80-20% rule in my opinion.
Absolutely. Like going back to what you said about not being too harsh, but also like being harsh enough. Like I try to follow the advice that like try to treat your future self like a friend that you do favors for, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I know I've got a busy week coming up. Let's meal prep. Like, let's make sure that I've at least got a lunch or something. Like, because something's better than nothing, right? Goes back to that perfectionism angle. Like, oh, if I haven't meal prepped 3 meals a day, then what's the point?
Yeah, there's definitely that fuck it mentality.
Baby steps.
Yeah, it's not going to be perfect, and the quicker someone realizes it's not going to be perfect, the quicker they'll start seeing results. If you're looking for perfection, ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's gonna be days your training's not as good, and if your training's not as good, I guess we may as well just write the day off, right? Like, stuff it. Tuesday wasn't good, so the week wasn't good, and then the month wasn't good, and I may as well start in Christmas.
Yeah.
Then it's January. Like, that's what we see all the time. Just have to like take each day as it comes, and each hour as it comes, in my opinion.
Yeah, because like that's how you generate long-term progress. It's not your ability to, I'm really motivated, so I'm going to train today. Like that's great, and it's great that you enjoy training. It's being consistent. It's when those days where you really don't want to be here. That's why they matter so much. That's why we bang on so much about the accountability. Why haven't you been in the gym this week? Oh, because show up when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to.
And I think also, like, coming back to that, the thing that we see, or like I see a lot of, and not just like in this gym, it's like in the online coach world, they're the worst for it. Online coaches suck. If anyone wants one, they suck. Throw the rocks. Like, you've got, if you're paying for accountability, you have to be honest. Oh, hey, Barb, why weren't you in the gym this week? No hate to Barb, I love Barb, she's great. Oh, yeah, well, my friend's dog's cat's brother died, and it's like, could you not be bothered? Just tell me. Like, you've got to be honest about it.
Yeah.
Like, just be straight up. Like, we're not here to shame you or anything like that. We're here to go, all right, fair enough. I've had days like that. Here's what I do. Let's book in a session.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you went to the doctor and lied to them, they're going to misdiagnose you. You're not going to get what you're after. It is very much the same thing. Like, we're not your parents. We're not your teachers. We're not going to jump on you. But like, we're here to help.
Yeah, and if you don't have the information, you can't help. 100%. Yeah. What else is going on in the facility? Because
let's do a bit of a client shout out, and this actually links back to the whole rehab and prehab and importance of strength training. So my client Paul, he's a legend. Shout out to Paul.
What a guy.
He had a knee injury, or he had something going on with his knee, a little bit of bone sticking out. We weren't exactly sure what it was. Either way, it affected running. And he also had a bit of a calf ping, which he went to go see a specialist about. Again, oh my God, like, this guy didn't run for close to 6 months. It was driving him insane. I could tell he's very sort of on it with his training. And in the meantime, we did what we could. We strengthened up his legs, which actually, before coming here, he used to train at a home gym, never used to really do legs.
Yeah, I remember doing a consultation with him, and he was like, I don't do legs. I was like, I don't think that's going to go down well with Chris. Good luck.
Yeah. We got him squatting, we got him deadlifting, Bulgarians, the whole lot. He loves it. But to be fair, quite good leg definition from football and running and things like that. And he was always like a quick runner. But after these 6 months, we focused entirely on what we could control, which was training, strengthening up his legs. The only cardio we did was on the ski machine, because obviously he couldn't run. And he recently got back into running, and on like his second or third proper run, he PB'd. First of all, he ran a 18:35 5K, which is absolutely filthy. Like, fair play. That is rapid. But he beat his previous PB by over 1.5 minutes, which I thought was crazy after not running.
Shows you what happens when you prehab and rehab.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're not just waffling for the sake of it. Like, it is important stuff. Performance, right? If you strengthen up your body, you're going to perform better.
Yeah, that's different level stuff. Like, unbelievable. And he's a guy that is very much on it. But I mean, was this after his holiday?
Yeah, actually, yeah, it was.
He had a holiday which was just on the beers with the boys.
Yeah,
and come back and PBs like that because he got straight back on it. So fair play.
80-20, right?
Yeah, and that was definitely more 20-80.
Yeah. But again, one weekend didn't undo 8 months worth of work.
100%. Yeah, he's fair play to him. What else have we got on with?
I'm trying to think what else has been happening.
I haven't really been here, so I can't really contribute to this one.
Yeah, I mean, people have been smashing their sessions. People are enjoying their sessions, which is good to see.
We got left. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday left. Really.
Yeah, we have the last session coming up here next Friday as well, 9:15.
Yeah.
Be there or be square.
Yeah. In other words, fill up our trailer for us.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, it will be a good session. I think it'd be good to see.
So, like, obviously, this location isn't ideal, but I mean, you guys have hit a lot of PBs, a lot of progress has been made here, lots of memories, things like that. It would be nice to kind of give it like one last sort of proper send off.
Yeah, it served us well though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like from where it was like a year ago to where it is now, it's mad.
Absolutely.
Like, we never really look back at it like that. And a new place it's giving me headaches, man. It's gonna look great, but God, it's giving me headaches.
Oh dear.
But
late nights,
early mornings. Doof. But yeah, we've got boot camp tomorrow. A few small groups. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a couple sessions Friday, and fourth.
That's it.
Which is mad. Run Club Sunday as well, if anyone wants to join, or is this far into the podcast still listening? Yes. I don't actually know when this podcast goes out, so
this might be our longest one.
Yeah, we do like a waffle now.
Oh, we love it, don't we?
Yeah. Ultra is tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, 7:30 start.
Oh,
God knows when I'm going to finish. I think, and I might be wrong, there might be a live tracker option. I don't think it's a GPS, but like checkpoints and stuff like that. I'll drop it in the chat if anyone wants to have a peek throughout their day. Oh, Chris is suffering.
Is Chris alive?
Yeah. No. He has died.
Yeah, no, okay, that'll be cool. We got anything else? You got anything for me?
I think that's it for me. Unless you want to update us on anything from the HQ, give us any sneak peeks.
Yeah, I can't give you much, but plan this weekend is to finish the stud work, put the electrics in, plumbing goes in tomorrow, track comes today, flooring is there. It's all just like there. Pilates space is built this weekend as well. So it should, like, I'm hoping by like Sunday night, like it's half built. I don't think the electrics will be finished. That's a lot of work. Which me and my dad and Greg are not looking forward to, but that's fine. But yeah, it should be cool. It should be really, really, really like a good space. I feel like I've been out of the loop this week. Because obviously I was there Monday night, here Tuesday night, Wednesday night I was there.
I didn't see you Wednesday at all, I don't think.
Yeah, then Thursday all day I was like B&Q, picked up a great big TV, like bits and bobs for the facility, and I was like, oh mate. Thursday night we had the business award evening, which was cool, good event to network at. Then Friday I'm on double shift today, so
the joys.
Saturday and Sunday will be busy. I feel like I'm running off about 5 hours sleep, which is the case, but it's all good.
Not ideal.
Living a dream. But yeah, we've still got, I think, 3 spots left on our HQ founders offer, but once they're gone, they're gone. There will be a special offer going out this weekend, actually. Limited time deal. But after that, it will be very much shut off for a few weeks. And then it will be our open morning event, which I'm hoping to be next Saturday. Not next Saturday, the Saturday after, sorry, which would be like come and have a coffee, drink, chat. And there's going to be a large group session at, I think, 9 a.m., which will be our standard boot camp session. But I'm thinking about 4 coaches on the floor, music blaring, 30, 40 people training, just carnage. That's what I'm thinking, which would be quite cool. See if I can get a few like old faces coming along that have been here for a couple of sessions and stuff like that. So that could be quite cool. And then just like planning like well in advance. Like I was just sorting some stuff out for the Christmas party today. Like, mate, it's almost halfway through October.
Christ.
6th of
Blinkly
December.
goes by.
6th of December, Christmas party in Colchester being top tier.
Carnage.
Yeah, it could get messy. And then you're in January. I don't understand where the year's gone. But we'll do some roundups on that at some point. We'll be back on the podcast next week. It will be from the new location. We might be sitting on the floor. I might be crying.
Can't afford furniture.
Chris might not have any legs left after his ultra. Who knows? But either way, we'll be here. Well, there, not here. Other than that, I think we're done. Link in the bio to the Forge HQ offer. If you have any questions, then just DM us the word HQ and we'll get back to you. And if you found this podcast useful, share it with friends. Drop us a like, and maybe even a subscribe. Cheers!